this energy or these feelings that she had at the time. So she ended up having an anxiety attack as opposed to her normal sort of fits of rage. And so that was another shadow jar that she had formed that was a little bit different than the angry, more of rage-filled shadow jars. So she has been unable to do hair since then, and she did graduate from hair school because it was towards the end, but she has yet to get a job or pick up scissors or to be able to do anyone's hair, because she said she doesn't want to, she knows how she is, and so she doesn't want to put that in any extra additional stress or pressure on herself, because she knows usually the people that she takes it out on are the people that she's closest to. And she said that she just thinks it was a bad idea to go to hair school and to get a degree or to get a certificate in that, because it's just too much pressure for her. So I also, during the interview, remembered a time when my older sister called me and she said, I got to talk to you about something. Rachel won't let anyone cut her hair or anyone touch her hair because, except for me, and she came to me in confidence and said that she'd been pulling out her hair. And so around the line of her scar, there's a sort of kink in her hair where her hair grows in differently. And she said she doesn't like the way it feels, so she's been pulling it out, and she has pretty large bald patches on her head around the scar, and I don't really know what to do about it. And so she talked to my mom and she talked to Rachel, and during the time she was 20 years old and she was going through a divorce, she married a guy that was turned out to be gay, and they obviously ended up getting a divorce, and it was really, for her, it was really embarrassing, and it was really sad, and I don't think that she ever fully was able to process those feelings. And so in order to zone out, to get out of her head, and to she had all these feelings that she couldn't organize or process, and they were different than the anger and the rage. It was more of an embarrassment and sadness that I asked her about it in the interview, and she said that she would pull out her hair because it felt different around the scar. It grows in differently, but I asked her why, and she said, well, I mean, I don't know why. But I said, well, what would you be thinking about when you were doing it? And she said, I wouldn't really be thinking about anything. I would be zoned out. And so I think that was another way, that was more of a crack jar. That was another way of her to process this energy and to process her feelings, is that instead of dealing with them, she would just zone out and pull out her hair. And what stopped her from doing that is she did go to hair school, and the students have to, play with each other's hair, and they cut each other's hair all the time, or color it funny, and so she knew that people were going to be, braiding her hair, or messing with her hair, or looking at it, and so she was able to stop that behavior because of, okay, I gotta be normal. I can't have these bald patches on my head. So overall, I think through this project, I've learned and have like a greater respect for her, because from the things that I've learned about bipolar, it seems like it could be so much worse. And I'm really proud of my mom for the way she raised her, because she is very self-aware, and my mom was always really honest with her. And I think a lot of that, the way Rachel is now as an adult is completely different than she was as a teenager. And when you talk to her, she knows that when she goes into those ragers or those fits, she's going to feel bad, and she's going to cry, and she's going to hurt people that she's close to, and she doesn't want to do that, and she feels like she has a responsibility to take her medication, and when she gets those feelings, to sort of take a step back. And she's learned things in therapy, that tools where helps her sort of gauge situations, and is this a good thing or a bad thing for me. And so I'm just really proud of her, and I think that along with therapy and taking her medicine, she'll be able to function as a relatively normal person, and she'll always be different and unique, and she'll always have these shadow jar behaviors or crack jar behaviors, but they're far less apparent than they used to be when she was a teenager. And hopefully that with therapy she can sort of reduce some of these instances or these episodes, and figure out what the flight path to these jars are, and learn to channel that energy differently. So yep, that is it. It was a really great semester. I really enjoyed having you as a teacher. Okay.